Hi, everybody. Hello. Can you see us? Hi.
Happy Sunday.
Hi, everybody. If you're new, I'm Kimberly,
I'm Katie.
and this is,
Flip.
and this is, our sides are going to flip,
There we
and this
go.
is Yellowjackets. We are your wilderness girls, your antler queens. We are so excited to talk about Yellowjackets. This is A Date with K and K is our channel. Our main podcast is A Date with Dateline. In case you're new here, I don't know if anyone's new here. I would love it if people are new here.
I
Everyone's
think we've
just
got a few.
complaining about Callie in the chat. It's
Oh,
hilarious.
already? Oh, here
Yeah.
we go. Here we go. Okay. All right. Let's get into it. Let's get
Yeah.
into episode 4.
So excited. So episode 4 of season 2 is called Old Wounds. And so let's talk about what's going on in the woods first with the
Let's do it.
girls.
Let's do it.
Okay. Little plot line. Mari is hearing that dripping noise, and she asks Akila to go with her and to go look for it. And Akila finds a mouse, which give that girl better lighting. And
I cannot see the mouse in that picture.
give the mouse better lighting too.
Okay, so in this black picture, there's a mouse, depending on the brightness of your screen.
And it makes me nervous when they focus too much on Akila and Mari. I think one of them's about to die. I'm okay if it's Mari, but
well, I think they're letting us be okay with that because Mari's pretty unlikable as a written character. And also, is the dripping tinnitus?
No, I don't think so.
I mean, what are we supposed to, what kind of foreshadowing do you have any new thoughts on the dripping? Last time I thought it might be Pit Girl hung upside down, the blood. Do you have any thoughts on the drip?
Well, they did. You remember Jackie's blood was dripping? Did you bring that up, or did someone else bring that up?
At the beginning of the episode, yes.
Yeah, at the very so it's
of episode
something
3,
like that.
yeah.
Or I think it's like the pipes. I think it's underneath. There's like water dripping.
So we think this has to do with possible tunnels or
yes, like the tunnel
mining
that Lottie was in.
That's not actually real.
Yeah. Well, but it could be. We don't know. And so I was very nervous because Akila hides the mouse because I think she thinks that Mari will just shove it in her mouth and eat it live.
I did honestly think, I was like, is that mouse going to get its head bit off?
Yeah.
That was the first thing I thought. And also, then what kind of a good mouse is that it just will go in your pocket and not scramble out?
How is he alive?
Is this an imaginary mouse?
Is she going to have an imaginary friend that she starts talking to?
I'd rather it be a mouse than a whole person named Crystal. If that is an imaginary person.
Is Crystal alive? We think so.
Know.
Is Crystal the mouse? Unsure.
Oh boy.
So, and why is there just one mouse and not a million mice?
Isn't that the rule that where there's one, then there's a bazillion?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Coach Ben is reading.
Wait.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. Go ahead.
Coach Ben is reading the
Magus. The Mangus? I want to say Mangus. Can somebody pronounce it phonetically?
I got a picture. Oh shoot! Sorry guys, my computer is not.
We don't
happy right now.
Oh no!
I have to go.
She froze. She's going.
Don't panic, okay?
Okay.
I know. Yeah. Hang on.
Magus.
Don't panic, everybody.
I think she went away. Okay, Magus. So let's talk about Magus while Kimberly's reloading. I did not realize that he was reading it. Somebody said he was reading it in episode 3. Did anybody in the chat realize that was a thing? That he was also reading that same book? And then has anybody read that book? Oh, I think that... Oh. I see Magus here too. Okay, so anyways, so if you're seeing the book for the first time, I looked up a bunch of synopses of the book. I didn't have time to read it. It also sounds like it's really sort of a dense literary piece about somebody who's basically the thing that I think pertains. There's a lot of extraneous stuff in the book, but I think the thing that pertains is that the main character, whose name is Nicholas, is part of this sort of incredibly, I don't want to say cruel, but it seems cruel, social
Hello.
experiment. Hello.
Okay,
Okay, I
the
was
chat
just
didn't end. I'm
explaining about
so
the book.
glad. Okay. I thought the whole chat would die if it froze and like needed to shut down. I'm so sorry.
She's back. And Jennifer, I agree. Coach Ben was a little spunkier in this episode. I did notice where he seemed like maybe he was slipping into death in the last episode. It feels like this episode, he's up and moving around.
That was weird.
So,
He was like catatonic last time, and now he was like much more active.
well, and I think maybe we're being led to believe that he ate the bear meat until we get something later in the episode. And then we realize he probably stole the bear meat. Right.
Gotcha.
But, yeah, that book. So I was just explaining about the synopsis of the book. Did you look it up,
I
Kimber?
did look it up, but I'm glad you did, and I didn't. I wasn't even. I trust that you did a good job.
I think the only relevant bit to this would be that he was part of a social experiment, the lead character.
Yeah.
And so it immediately is like, okay, are we going to be getting, is this a social experiment? Like a big social experiment that's happening?
Right. And he was,
Like,
I think the guy was like on an island, and there was
yes,
some sort of deadly game.
right.
And
But he
what's
was
real,
like, didn't
what's
know he
not
was
real.
playing in the game, like the Truman Show kind of thing, like Cabin in the Woods.
Yes.
Where, if you haven't seen that movie, sorry, spoiler alert, but where they're all trapped in a cabin and then people are actually controlling the nightmares that come to life.
Yeah.
While all these young people are trapped in a cabin. I don't think that's what's happening, but it's interesting. I'm wondering why they picked. It's clear that it's on purpose, right? He's reading the book on purpose.
For
so,
sure.
I don't know.
So Ben also in a flashback looks through a box of his boyfriend's ex stuff and realizes that he has no dating history because was his first boyfriend. And I think another theme of the book is a man who wished for adventure only to be disappointed when that wish came true. So maybe Ben was like out there, looking for something. He got a lot more adventure than he was hoping for.
So did you see that the antlers were placed behind Ben's head in the flashback?
When he's reading the book, or when he's with
in the
his
flashback
boyfriend?
with his
When he's
boyfriend?
with his boyfriend?
In his living room, the boyfriend has a skull with horns of some sort, and it's placed right behind Ben's head. And I thought that was
that
interesting.
happened with Lottie. That's very interesting.
I don't know why that's happening with Coach Ben. Feels weird.
That's
but
very
not
interesting.
To be ignored, I feel like. Mm-hmm.
Well, Thaisa, the actress who plays Thaisa, says she thinks everyone is the antler queen. Like we're all there's not just one. Like something like that. She's like, why does it have to be just one? I don't know.
Oh boy. Okay. Is she meaning like metaphorically?
I don't know.
We're all the
antler queen is in all of us. It's in you. It's in me.
Okay, there we go.
So Mari is spreading rumors that Coach Ben stole the meat, and he thinks he's so much better than us. Like just because he didn't eat Jackie, he's not a cannibal. He like thinks he's better than us.
Probably.
No, he's better than you because you have an attitude problem.
He also probably does maybe think he's better than you because he didn't eat your
he
friend.
Does such a holier than thou attitude for not because you're not a cannibal.
Yeah, he might. He might have that.
I think he does.
Okay. Whatever is going to get you through this.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So then Mari is like, we're starving, and it's Natalie's fault because she won't let Lottie bless her for the hunt. Wow. Mari is just starting fights with everyone. I think she's so hungry for beef that she's starting beef. By the way, look at my shirt, guys.
Where'd you get that?
Can I wear Did you make it? No, I ordered it on TeePublic off of our shop. Great. I added a bunch of Yellowjacket stuff to our shop.
Oh, so how fun! But seriously, no, they. I think let's all eat Mari. Why is Mari so out of line about every single point? Is what I don't understand. They're giving her no redeeming qualities.
Does she have any? I mean, none. I honestly don't. And I think it rubs off on Akilah, who has very little personality. They've really not given Akilah very much personality, but she seems to be Team Mari, which is not good for Akilah either.
No.
So then Mari and Akila are like, well, Lottie has fed us more than Natalie has. She got us the bear and she got us the birds because she convinced those birds to kill themselves on our roof.
Mhm.
So thanks, Lottie. And Lottie's kind of like, what? Don't follow me. I'm not asking them to like defend me. I'm not in this, like, don't follow me kind of.
Yeah, Lottie doesn't seem to be convinced of her own power at
Yes,
this point,
that's a
which
good way
I
of putting it. Yeah.
kind of like, and that
Yeah.
seems to continue in older Lottie as well, a little
Mm-hmm.
bit. Even though
Mm-hmm.
Lottie's kinda got this weird cult, she seems
Yeah.
to also be not really enjoying having any kind of supernatural stuff around her.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, I still can't figure out why the birds fell. I'm still having a hard time what we're
We
supposed to think
will
happened.
hopefully get an answer in eventually, and it won't be a lost thing.
Do you think it was Lottie? Like, right now, if you had to guess.
I think it happened right when the blood fell on the symbol. So I don't think it was her, but I think it was the woods themselves. That's what I think.
Right, and the
So
symbol wants blood.
yeah, the 8 wants blood. That's what it keeps saying in French.
Mhm. There
So
you go.
Natalie says, let's have a contest. Me and Lottie go outside. Who can get the most? For some reason, Misty is in charge of the contest, which I found hilarious. They're all listening to Misty like make up rules for this contest.
Isn't she like no, but she's the team
What? Because she's the
assistant
towel girl?
manager, right? No, but
Okay,
she was
whatever.
the coach's assistant, so
They
that
have
makes
the
sense.
actual coach there who doesn't
He's
seem to
not
care.
really he's not doing stuff. He does
Taking it.
not care about
Yeah.
this competition.
But like
No.
they never listen to Misty about anything. And now they're like, okay, Misty said, you guys.
Yeah, that is weird.
So it's like a duel, and they're all like dressing Lottie and Natalie for battle, kind of. And Natalie only really has Travis and kind of Thaisa.
No, she definitely has to well, that's what was weird is you sort of see the split. I tried to write it down. We've got Mari, Akila, Van, and Misty I put in the middle. So Mari, Akila, Van, definitely team Lottie. Team Natalie, Coach Scott, Ty, Shauna is what I'm guessing, but who's helping them get ready is Travis and the 2 girls without names. There's one in a pink hat that we keep seeing, and then there's
Yeah.
another girl who has a line in the
Wait,
first
was
episode.
Shauna there?
Shauna's on the porch.
Okay, so Shauna's not.
So those are my guesses on teams. But then but Van's also on the porch. Van's not around
Yeah,
Lottie
but
at
Van
that
is
point,
clearly like Team Lottie.
which is weird because she is.
Sorry.
That's
I
fine.
just removed you, Katie, instead of Lottie.
That's absolutely
Apologies.
fine. That's totally fine.
Sorry. Wait, what were you saying about we're just doing a great here, guys. What did you say? That it's weird that that Van is on Lottie's team?
Yeah.
Because she seems so logical, or why? She got all in when she was almost killed by the wolf.
No, because she's in a relationship with Ty,
Right.
who's so clearly anti anything that's going on with Lottie.
I've said it before. Inter-religion marriages are difficult. They need some premarital
and they do
counseling.
eventually break up, which we're about to figure out why.
Yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully next episode.
So Natalie goes on her journey, and she follows tracks to the frozen lake and sees antlers coming out of the ice.
How? Explain.
Crazy.
You need to explain the science of this to me right now.
Was it dead and then floating when the ice froze over it? Or does it rise to the I don't know how. But
so that was my thought, is that it died in the lake and then it rose up like a body does, right? In water.
Uh-huh.
And then
does
it just
a
froze
moose
and
float
caught
in
the
water?
antlers.
I know people do.
Can someone
we are
explain?
largely water.
We're going to need science to get into the chat.
Moose are more muscly.
Also, are we to believe that this is the same moose that it 100%. Is another albino moose?
So here's what I think. Yes, so it was 100% that same moose. But that moose that moose is not even that moose, because that moose
is Danny.
Is Danny. And
Danny's
thank you, Oliver, for texting me that photo. He's on it. Anytime I ask for photos of the cats, it's like he's locked and loaded within 2 minutes.
It's the only photos on his phone.
Yeah.
That's fine. Hi, Danny. This is Danny, the champion of the world,
Look
everyone.
at that similarity.
That is striking.
I know.
Should I be concerned?
Maybe. So the tracks that she follows are fresh. So I think it was
Mhm.
like the moose, the spirit of the moose that she maybe imagined last time at the plane, kind of
Materialized?
leading her. And it's
Oh.
ghost moose makes tracks, makes
Stop
fresh
it.
tracks.
Stop it. It's not a ghost moose. It's
Taller ghost
they
moose.
all see it then, so they all see ghost moose in the water?
No, it's a real dead moose, but the spirit of it has been trying to lead Natalie to
Oh.
it.
I see, I see.
But I don't know why she could see that. Well, the tracks, she could see the tracks because she
Also, fresh tracks means that moose just froze in the water.
No, see, that's what I'm saying. I think the tracks are also part of the ghost spirit thing. That moose was popsicle for a long time. So I think the tracks, moose tracks, which I think
Which is also an ice
is an
cream.
ice cream flavor.
It's definitely a nice thank you. Does
I
that mean
think
anything?
I don't know.
I don't know. What's in Moose Tracks ice cream? I'm guessing chocolate, some sort of bits,
Yeah.
Snickers. Oh, Moose Munch. Yeah,
Yeah,
I know
that's good
Moose
too.
Munch. That's that popcorn with stuff in it. Okay. Sorry. So I understand what you're saying. I think that's not a bad theory. I just don't understand how the moose would get stuck in the water in the way that it did. And
Just go with it.
nor is there any chance in this world that even if every single person was pulling on the moose, would they be able to get it out of the water? Not
Right.
in the state that they're in.
Right.
And like how much does a moose weigh? You
Right.
wouldn't be able to pull a horse, so you
No.
wouldn't be able to pull I mean, I think they're hundreds and hundreds of pounds.
Yes. So
That's they're just
Natalie
not gonna be able to get it out unless they
right.
have a crane, I don't think.
So Natalie is like, help me. We need to go get the moose."
Yeah.
And Mari goes, "The rules of the game where you couldn't get help with anything." And
Mari,
everyone's like,
you're
"This is food that could feed us for the rest of the winter." And Misty's like, "Come on." And Mari's like, "I'm gonna tell Lottie. I'm gonna tell my queen cult mom." She's so far up Lottie's butt. And even Misty is like, it's food. We need food. You're an idiot." I dislike Mari as much as I dislike Callie at this point, and that's saying a lot.
I think most people do.
Yeah.
Mari is real rough,
Yeah.
and I don't understand why Akila's going along with it, because
Right.
Mari's gonna eat your mouse.
She is 100% gonna eat
She's
her
gonna
mouse.
eat your mouse.
So then they go get the moose and they tie it up, but they can't get it. But look at how beautiful this shot
I
was.
know, that was crazy, right? That was
So
really something.
that
Yeah.
that whole storyline with Natalie and the moose, I thought was so beautiful because look at this shot too. When it's like looking at
Oh,
the shot
through
from
the ice? I thought
yeah,
that was great too. Yeah, it was really good.
so good. And then so Natalie's so distraught when they can't get the moose.
Mhm.
And um Travis is like comforting her, which is the scene that we saw from last week in the preview.
Yeah, and she's freezing. I can't imagine how cold that would be.
Yeah.
Oy.
So meanwhile, Lottie is like wandering around. She sees a symbol. No, she closes her eyes, centers herself, and then she goes, sees a symbol on a tree. And she's like, I don't know what I'm doing. Am I just faking this whole thing?
That
Like,
was an amazing moment. I felt like that was really important because she's, like, trying to feel something, and she's like, "Oh my god."
yeah. Why are people
Like
following me?
right. That was very important. I feel
Yeah.
like I don't dislike wilderness
No,
Lottie.
she's not like asking people to follow her. They just kind of are.
Yeah. I like her, and I sort of like parts of Adult One too, but, like, she's sh she clearly doesn't want this thing that she's got.
Yeah. And I think she does seem to want to help people. Adult Lottie. So do you feel like you're closer to believing her story about the Travis thing? No, you still think she's lying and being shady.
I don't know if I don't think she's being shady. I think she's just doesn't wanna tell Natalie the truth.
Gotcha.
I think that there is part of that story that's the truth, but I think there's a lot of stuff around it that's not. It's weird. It's weird that he would leave all of his bank account information and then go. It's weird. There's a weird series of events
Yeah.
that happened here.
Yeah.
I think they were much more in contact that she was letting on or something.
Mhm.
There's something odd. Yeah.
So she finds the hollowed out tree where she put the bear heart. I
Mhm.
think that's what that was.
Mhm.
And so she cuts herself and bleeds on it because it wants blood. And then she's walking and she's drawn to a vision of a plane. And I fully was like, oh, is that the plane? Is that the plane that like they landed in? No, that's a tiny plane. Is that the plane that
Was it a
Laura Lee
different
blew up
plane?
in? Is
Oh.
that like did it not blow up? Was it a trick? Was it like a full on David Copperfield making the Statue of Liberty like disappear thing?
Or
And
just that
the
everyone
plane
thought
never
they
blew up.
saw it, and actually what they saw was like a sun flash or something.
Right,
Yeah,
right. It
gotcha,
was a
okay.
joint,
Mhm,
hallucination or a
mhm.
Mandela effect thing.
Yes.
So she goes and she sees, the doll, the teddy bear,
Leonard.
Leonard.
Yeah.
She sees Laura Lee's necklace, her cross necklace, because there's all
Mhm,
this religious issues with Lottie and Laura
mhm.
Lee. And then there's a hatch inside the plane. And that's when I was like, this is not real. And it took me way too long. And she
No,
crawls
it's
down.
okay. Uh, it's hard to tell right away what's real and not real. I think that also everyone's been pretty convinced that there's something under the ground, and
Yeah,
we all
because
pretty much thought we were gonna see it this episode, and
I still think there is stuff under the ground. I
I
think
s
she's just having a vision of it before she finds it.
I think there could be. I think we might be getting a snippet of it. It's hard for me to imagine it having electricity.
Right.
How's how's that now?
I
And
don't
when she
know.
goes down, there are these
But the
sort of
Lost Hatch had electricity.
it sure did.
And
How did
Lost
that
was
go
a
for Lost?
documentary.
How did that go? How did that work out for the Dharma Initiative?
Yeah. So,
Unsure.
she goes into there's like an elevator and then
Yeah.
there's a full-on mall
And then she's
and
okay, so we were right though, everybody, for
totally a
everyone
mall.
that thought
Jake called it and you called it total
yeah, she
mall.
was in the
Yeah.
because I saw a clothing rack. I was like,
Yeah.
that's a rack of clothes." And
No, it's
so
totally.
mhm, yeah, and they're
So
playing the theme song
they're
really
playing the
weirdly
theme
over the
song
thing.
like this light contempo version of it. Yeah.
Which, by the way, huge props to Alanis Morissette for this week's theme. That was awesome. I don't know if you notice, Kimberly? So it's Alanis Morissette singing it this week.
I thought it sounded different.
It is. I thought it was so cool, and she did, like, a little thing on YouTube. You can see her talk
Oh,
about it.
that's
She was
awesome.
she was jazzed, and I was like, "That's the epitome of '90s. That's perfect. It's
Yeah,
awesome." Yep.
that's so cool. So then this she goes to a store called Express exclamation point V, which I think is just supposed to be a knockoff of like
I'm guessing it's the Limited that
Express or
was
the
there in the
limit.
'90s? Yeah,
Yeah,
remember the
it
Limited
kind of
or
makes it look like it's saying like expressive because of the exclamation point. And is it the fifth express? I don't know what it means.
yeah,
But
Express
anyways,
5
yeah,
did
express.
it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But then this shop girl comes up to her and says, that would look great on you. And she's like, no, I'm just looking. She's way too
In
excited.
a full Clueless sweater. I
Also, I
loved
feel
it.
like this is
That's a
maybe
full
one of
Claire
the girls.
Horowitz right there, that girl.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Mhm.
Yes. So she's like, no, thank you. So then she goes and she sees all of the girls
Yeah.
eating Chinese food. And Laura Lee is there and alive with a wig on because she obviously the actress has changed her hair. Speaking of hair, look at Misty's hair in this scene.
Yeah, I was into it. The tousled updo? Yeah. That's a good wig.
Yeah,
I want that wig.
I love it.
Look at that hair.
I know.
You wish if you had curly hair, you wish your hair would do that. Do you
Yeah.
know what I'm talking that's a
Oh yeah.
good day when it's up with, like, the perfect spirals.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
So they sit down and she's like freezing. Laura Lee's like, I got you food, and she's trying to eat it, but she's shaking. And they say, I think I saw a coat at Abercrombie. And Lottie says, I don't think I have a credit card. And they say, like, that ever stopped you before? Because she used to shoplift. That was what she confessed in like the first or second episode, that she used to shoplift.
And we
Even though
are
she's
using
rich.
that device that lets us know that this is it's bad because they're going
Yeah.
like when they're talking. So
Oh,
when
yeah,
Van
it's
speaks and
glitchy.
then when Natalie speaks, they
Yeah.
do that odd sort of dark glitch.
Yeah.
And Lottie is looking rougher and rougher in the
Uh-huh.
scene. She looks brutal. Also, they don't let her take a bite.
Never. She can't get one bite of that chow mein.
Does it mean she was gonna die? If she had taken a bite, that means she died. I was like, well, I was obsessed with the bite because I was like, oh my gosh, she's gonna get to eat in her hallucination at least. Like,
Yeah.
you know, they're starving.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Like when Jackie died, she got hot chocolate. Although I'm still not sure
Exactly.
if that was Jackie's imagination or Shauna's imagination. I think
Jackie's.
the Jackies.
I think Jackie's. Oh,
But like
Shauna's died.
Shauna awoke with a jolt after that. So
Oh gosh,
I was
Kimberly.
like,
Yeah,
was
that's a
it
good point.
what Jackie was imagining when she saw the man upstairs from the cabin being dead and Laura Lee was there? It seemed like it was Jackie being greeted into like
The Death
the
Club.
afterworld, the death club
Right.
or whatever. Yeah. Unsure.
Okay.
So
All right.
Laura Lee's like, you have to get out of here or you're gonna die. And
Yeah.
she pushes her and she falls, lands in the snow.
And
And
that shot, we've seen a few of these shots from this episode. We've pretty much knocked out the season 2 preview at this point. This is
yeah,
kind of like some
which
of the
is
major
good
stuff,
because
which is good. We have a lot left.
then we won't keep playing like what is that
Right.
scene? We haven't seen that scene yet.
So some of the only couple big ones, it does look like somebody falls in the ice that's different than Natalie dunking her head. It does
Okay.
look like that, but I could be wrong. It could be that, and we're missing them all running out,
With the
looking like
yeah.
they're charging something. We
Yeah.
haven't had that yet.
Yeah.
But
So Akila and Mari are I think the only two who did not go to help with the moose because they're so firmly on Team Lottie. And they go to look for her and they find her passed out and they bring her back in and they put her in the tub soaking, and Natalie and her bond over like smack talk, and neither of them caught anything.
it was cute. That was a
was
good
cute.
moment because it sets us up to, I feel like a lot of this sets us up for why people are okay with each other later. And Natalie and Lottie don't seem to be that hateful of each other. Even though Natalie's giving her a hard time in the now, it's not, Lottie does not hate Natalie,
That's
right?
true. Right.
So, and then anyways, we'll get to Shauna and Ty later, but there seems to be something between Shauna and Ty that like keeps them kind of bound, which we definitely saw in season 1 with them as adults.
Yes.
They are.
Yes. And
They don't.
Thais has really been her confidant during the pregnancy.
Yeah, definitely. Like from the jump.
From the jump. She was the
there
first one to
is-
find out. Yeah.
Is there anything to be said for a color story and that we have, and Oliver recognized this, that we have Mari and Akila both in gold? Anything to be said for that?
And
Because
Lottie
we later
wears
see
gold.
Lottie in gold.
Right.
I don't think so. It might be just a coincidence, but just
no, that's interesting.
Just a note. Yeah, something to watch.
I think nothing's a coincidence. It's all on purpose.
I sort of think that too. Yeah.
Like when we used to analyze that ID show on Blood Relatives on ID, and it was like every color they just threw. They were like, today's color is blue. Everybody's going to be in blue. It means nothing, but everyone's in blue.
Sometimes they'd pick weird colors.
Yeah.
Like sometimes they would pick, or they'd pick only teal.
Yeah.
So it was only blue green.
Yeah, and it was whatever shades the costumer could find.
That was so fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
I missed that show. Go back and listen to our coverage of it on the podcast.
It's called Blood Relatives is the show on ID Network.
Show ever. We had so many conspiracy theories about that show.
We still have doing a few
to that
left.
show what this show is with actually serving conspiracy theories.
It's true. It's true. All right.
So also in cabin news, Van is following Taissa around when she's sleepwalking and making notes on a map of where she leads her to the symbols. And then
I love it.
We get this moment, which I think was in the intro, opening music, where she puts together the map, compares it to Coach Ben's map, and draws out where Taissa has found the symbols, and it makes up a giant
It
symbol
makes the symbol.
on the map.
What is the symbol? I would love in the chat for people to give us their like best idea of what the symbol is. Sorry, Shauna Parker on here about the Lottie's winter coat in Callie's closet. I did notice it. I did. When Shauna pushes aside the clothes, the jacket on the end looks a lot like Lottie's coat that she's wearing in the cabin.
Interesting.
For sure.
Interesting.
And then, sorry, so I would love to know what people think the symbol is, because I've heard a lot of different things about what the symbol. I still don't know. I still can't really get. My brain just automatically goes to a hook and someone on a hook, and it's
That's
just
what it
flipped upside
is.
down. But I don't think it is. I think it's different than that.
No, it's clearly a girl on a hook. I'm wearing it.
Is it for sure though?
Look at the hook. And she's wearing a dress. It is a gender normative symbol, like on a
Yeah.
bathroom that is not gender
And then she's been
inclusive.
sliced.
And there's like maybe a poles through her. Yeah. Sticks, spears, or when she falls in the spikes. Yeah. I think so.
Okay. I just want to make sure. If we
Like-
find out it's something different, I'm going to be upset.
No, it's
It
like
better be that.
the girl in the pit at the beginning
Thank
when
you.
they
Okay,
when they
I
hang
think
her
that
up.
too. Okay.
When they hang her up and drain her of her blood.
That's what I think too. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Somebody said something about someone falling and that slice be somebody half underground, half above ground. I don't know.
Ooh.
I saw something like that.
That movie Us. Is that what that movie's called? Is it called Them? What's
The
that
one
movie
where
called?
they're half underground?
Jordan Peele movie.
I was more thinking yeah. Oh, you mean like that there's two worlds and like they're half in one, half in the other? That's
You
like
meant
dark.
like literally like a hedgehog sticks his head.
Yeah, I
in
more
the
meant like
ground.
half underwater, half above water, but I don't think that's right.
Interesting.
Okay.
Maybe because some of them have their heads in the sand about this whole woods mystical power thing. So it's a metaphor.
I just hope it's what we think it is, because I think anything else might be a stretch. I don't know. I think it needs to be that. It needs to be just the girl and the hook, right?
I've seen a lot of rumors online that the symbol is actually a map for an illegal. It's definitely has to do with the map for sure. For an illegal cinnabar mind. I don't know what that means, which would explain the Red River and hallucinations.
I have seen stuff about the different kinds of mines. I've seen stuff about Mercury.
A lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff about mines.
Yeah. Like, and they used to do digging, and maybe the man in the cabin, that's what he was there for. Like prospecting or searching, or maybe this happened a long time ago. It's hard to, I don't know.
Yes, and can it be Cinnabon?
Yeah, I would love it if it were Cinnabon.
A Cinnabon mine.
Yeah.
It would smell so good. They'd be starving and it would pump the Cinnabon scent in. Could you imagine?
Yes. I'd rather have the fries from McDonald's.
It does look like Rosie.
Yeah.
It does. It absolutely does.
Yeah. So if you're just listening, the comment is it looks a bit like Rosie, the robot from the Jetsons. Yeah.
Okay.
Love it. So they go out, Thais and Van, to find the last missing symbol that they think will make up the symbol on the map. And Van sees the tree that Natalie saw. I think it's the same tree that had the melting snow and the moss. That's not all frozen over like the other trees. And she's like, why is it melted? And then they see a figure running and they chase him down, and it's Javi.
Is he running too fast? Like he's not a human?
He might be
human?
Taller Ghost Javi.
This is a black picture. Something's up with my screen, I think. Oh, no, there he is. Okay. No, I think I just don't have the brightness right on my screen.
The show is very dark, literally. So Javi is alive, but he's not speaking. He is
taller.
Taller Ghost Javi, and he is
So
been through some stuff, but he looks to be like well fed. So theories. Everyone's like, "You're alive. You've aged." Like, no one says
it
how
was
tall.
not the reaction that I imagined. I'm surprised, and Travis is not crying. I'm like,
No,
Travis,
it's me, your brother, Travis.
wake up! What's
So
going on?
so
And
now
he's just
this
like,
has a
where you been, man?
where
I
you
mean, it was
been? How
so
did you survive?
anticlimactic.
So
Yeah, this was
Mari
odd.
says, "This means Lottie was right. She knew Javi was alive."
Who gives a crap? Javi is standing there, and he's been in the wilderness for
We can
how many?
discuss
4
that
months?
Lottie was right later.
That's not for now, Mari. What is up with you? She
And
needs
then
to
Van
stop. She needs
goes,
to go
"My
outside.
girlfriend is special too. My girlfriend totally
Oh my
has
god.
powers. She knew where to find Javi."
Can
And
we focus on Javi
Javi,
for,
how
like,
are you alive?
what happened? Where did you go?
Where have you
Have you
been?
been living in that tree with the moss
Are
that
you the one who
apparently
pooped
won't,
in our bucket? And are you
or
the
have you
one who
been
stole
stealing
the
the beer
meat?
meat?
Why do you keep calling it beer meat? Is that
Bear
just
meat.
I
I
keep
do keep
hearing
calling
beer
it beer
meat.
meat.
Is she saying beer meat or
No, because I think I can't get around that they're spelled Bearmeat. I can't. My brain keeps flipping them. Apologies. There's no beer meat. That's not a thing. There's
and
beer cheese, but there's no beer meat.
Misty is like, 3 cheers for Lottie. Hip hip. Misty always reads the tone of the room completely wrong, and I love it.
For Lottie,
Yeah.
Javi's I'm upset.
Yeah.
The only person that actually seems really weirded out, besides Natalie, that Javi is back is Lottie. So what's that about?
I think she's nervous that she was right
Me too.
because she kind of wants to think maybe these visions are just her whatever disease she's been diagnosed with since she was a kid, and it's
Me
like,
too.
there might be a mall underground with Chinese food. Something is up.
I I think the problem is that maybe she's seen some darker stuff. And so if this is true, then maybe
Yeah.
that stuff that's coming is also true. And so
Yeah.
I think she's scared.
Yeah.
Because I think it means, oh, this is about to get a lot worse based on what I've seen. This is bad.
I think
So
you're right. Yeah.
I don't know.
Wouldn't you be freaked out? Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be freaked out.
Now, who else is freaking out is Natalie because
Oh
she's
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
"Crap, I told my boyfriend that his brother was dead. I totally faked it." And
So what do you
this
do
is
now?
awkward.
What do you do if you're
Do you
Nat?
tell him?
No. Absolutely not. You lie.
You take that to the grave.
Absolutely not. You go, I found those pants. I was sure he was dead. You don't know how the pants got, you know
Right,
nothing.
you know nothing.
Deny all knowledge of
Yeah.
bloody pants and you
Yeah.
move on and you try to, and that's when you go, Javi, let's talk about you. So let's talk about me and the pants later.
Later,
Javi.
Javi,
Yeah. Right.
so
Distract.
somebody's
Focus
saying,
over here.
"I can't believe they weren't just all like, so, did you poop in the bucket? We're not mad. Just be honest." Because it's causing a
don't know.
lot of fights between us who pooped in the bucket, so we would love it to get that sorted out. Was that you?
And are we sure this is not Demon Walt or Demon Javi
I mean,
or
he's not
adult
speaking.
ghost Walt Javi?
He could be like some sort of pod person. We don't know.
He acted
Where
like a pod person, but also he's been out being feral for a second. So
right.
I don't know. Beer meat Napoleon. Oh, bear meat. I read beer meat again. I can't get it. Sorry, it's stuck.
Did you
It's
say
stuck.
it again when
I
you were
did.
reading?
I did. I'm stuck on it. I don't know what's happening.
So this was a fascinating reveal. Yeah, and their reactions were all very different. Yeah. It's
Yeah, I
very
don't know.
interesting.
What do you
Yeah,
think? What do you think though?
Jake says, "What if he now only speaks French? How creepy would that be if all of a sudden just Javi only speaks French?"
Did it also weird anyone out that in the preview for next week, we don't see any Javi?
No Javi. Maybe I don't think he's gonna speak. I think they're literally not gonna get answers from him.
Oh, I just remembered. I'm so sorry. Oliver and I talked about this. Now, is the reason Lottie is weirded out not just because it means all her visions are right, but because she did do that blood squeezy thing by the stump, right?
So this brought Javi back. Yeah.
Is Javi now being brought as the sacrifice? That's the question. So is the forest now, we brought you the bear, we brought you the birds, we brought you this young man who's been hiding in the woods. Is that what she thinks is like, oh my gosh, he's
See, and I
our
thought
dinner?
maybe he's just like a gift from the woods, but not to eat. But you're right. What they really need is food.
What they really
So
need is food. Is he being sent as, and they have to take whatever the wilderness gives them. They sent them a bear, that was really nice. Then they sent them birds. It wasn't quite as nice. And then now they're sending Javi. Could it be
I
that?
mean, they were chasing after mostly Travis, not really Javi, and during the shrooms incident when he ran away. It was more like Travis was being hunted.
As
But
like, but he was being hunted as like the stag. Jake
yeah,
had a theory about that. It was something about like, oh, I don't know. That felt different than this. That felt like a sexy hunt. Like
it was a sexy hunt for sure.
we're gonna get with you. Not,
Rosie Doc says, I think Dream Trapped Ty has been helping Javi. That's very interesting.
oh my
But I
gosh.
don't think Sleepwalking Ty is nice. Or maybe is nice and she just misunderstood.
She did do something to a dog
She
that
did
was
kill a dog.
unspeakable. To the family dog.
Yeah. Biscuit, R.I.P.
Oh, I have a lot of questions. Okay.
But I don't know.
All right.
So,
Anyways, we'll keep that in the back.
oh, so there have been some online theories. One was that Javi has been frogging in the cabin this whole time. Which, if you don't know what that is, you have not been listening to A Date with Dateline, which is a
Explain
term.
frogging quickly. This is
Wait,
too
I think
much.
Josh Mankiewicz explained to us what it was. And it is someone is like legitimately hiding in either the walls or the attic of
Don't
your
let this
house
freak you out if you live alone. Don't let this
for
freak you
maybe
out.
months at a time, years. And sometimes it's a stranger, and sometimes it's like your ex that you didn't know
They're
about
basically living in the
squatting
walls
in
of your
your
house.
walls. And it's real. And it's happened so much they made an ID show about it called Frogging. It's spelled with a PH.
This is
So
horrible.
yeah, so maybe he ate the bear meat, he pooped in the bucket, and he's been secretly hiding somewhere around
Maybe.
the property.
Okay.
And also an interesting theory is that people on Reddit, I think they think they've been seeing Javi in the background of scenes. You know how it's dark and there are a lot of people around. So sometimes you're like, who was that? Which person? They think, I don't know if there are screen grabs from where they actually think
Oh,
they've seen
I'm
Javi.
gonna look that up.
And
I'm
maybe
dying to
they thought it
know.
was Javi, but it was Travis. So people think maybe it was him. But I feel like if he was in a room with the girls, like they would see him. Or maybe it's like Where's Waldo? And it's just a nature scene and you see like a little figure in the back. It's like, is that a Yeti? Is that Javi? Is it Squatch hunting?
I
What's
have to
happening?
say too, I think adult grown up Travis looked a lot more like young Javi.
Yeah.
I'll say that right now. And I don't know if that's just a casting thing, but he really did. Adult Travis looked a lot more like Javi than Travis.
Oh, interesting.
I don't think that means anything. I think that's just casting. But
I think because they've had so little of Javi, I mean, adult Travis, maybe they didn't put as much into the casting as they did with the other people.
yeah,
Because he was like okay, but it wasn't as good as this show normally is, or like Dark,
with the
for
adult
example,
and
with
young.
the
Yeah.
adults and the young
Hmm.
people. Yeah. So unsure if anyone is actually thinks they've seen Javi. Is Javi a collective hallucination? That's also possible. Um,
Oh,
yeah,
really?
anything
No.
is possible.
No, it can't be. That's weird. Also, why aren't people spending more time in the attic? Somebody said
Well,
about,
Thaisa and Van have made it
but
their couple's den,
I
and
feel
Coach
like
Ben,
maybe
who,
everybody should be up there. The warm air rises, right? The
yeah,
warmest place is going to be up
yeah,
in the attic. If
yeah.
you've got, I don't know,
Why
this
does
feels
Coach
weird.
Ben, who is contributing nothing and not being a leader of any sort, get his own bedroom still? So he can have morning wood that Misty can stare at? Sorry, that's from last season. I know that only
I don't
happened
know.
once, but it was so shocking to me.
I feel like it just depends. People,
It's like they're still giving him that you're the adult here, so you should get the bedroom, but
I don't know if everybody wants their own room. Would you? I would probably want to stay with other people.
that's true.
I
No, that's
don't
true.
know. And
I
I
mean,
feel
I
like
would want my own room, but
I don't think you would if you were feeling scared. You might
yeah.
want more people around.
Yeah, that's true.
Could be.
Yeah. So
But
adult
maybe you would.
Thaisa,
Maybe you guys could switch off if you were there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Once they got rid of the dead guy, patched up the window from the seance
Upstairs. That's the place
upstairs,
to
I'd be
be.
like,
Yeah, for sure.
so moving on to the adults.
Yeah, here we go.
Uh Adult
Who
Thaisa, she's fully dissociating.
oh
She's
boy.
losing it. She sneaks. It took me a sec to figure out what was happening. She
Oh,
sneaks into Jessica Roberts, who is the investigator last year that she hired to look into everybody who
right.
is dead, but she doesn't know she's dead. Snuck into her apartment, took the Yellowjackets file, and then drives until the car runs out of gas. And then she just
Drives her
starts.
assistant's car.
Oh, right. She borrowed it from the hospital.
Right.
Yeah, last time. So,
Uh-huh.
until it runs out of gas and then just abandons the car and then just starts
Her
walking.
assistant's car.
Yeah.
Just abandons it
Yeah.
in
And
who
then
knows
she's
where.
just like, I will walk 500 miles and I will walk 500 more to find
I
Van because that's what she's doing. And
This whole segment was rough for me. Was this rough for anyone else?
this
This was hard.
truck
I'm not
driver
gonna
picks
lie.
her up. And I have to say, like, this
No.
is how horror movies start, but he's so nice.
This truck driver did not vote for state senate. He might have.
He goes,
He
I
might
voted
have.
for you, by the way. Yeah. And I was like, he voted in the state Senate election.
How
Okay.
many
I mean,
people?
we are
Maybe
judging. We're very judging
I
him
am
by his
because
appearance.
I don't know if I have. So
Right. No,
I'm gonna put
there,
myself out there and be
I
like,
have not
state
every
senate
time,
races
truly.
don't. State
He's out
senate
there on the
races don't.
road. He needs an absentee ballot.
I mean, good for him, but it
If he
just
happens
felt
to be
like
from that area, truck drivers are usually traveling like all over the country.
just a lot of people have known who she is in this thing. They're like, "Oh, yeah." Like the girl at the
It was the
dog
most
kennel knew.
famous state Senate election in history.
State senate, not senate.
I can't name a single state senator except for the guy on The Office. True story.
I can't even name him. What was his name? What was her boyfriend's name? Who was dating Oscar?
Yeah,
What was
who's
his name?
secretly dating Oscar. Yeah.
Totally forgot his name. But
I
yes.
hope you guys in the comments, because there is a slight delay, but so I'm like looking eagerly at the comments to make sure you're not going to make us feel badly about not knowing about state senators.
Sorry. But no, I'm just saying that it's
This
just
is me like, what are they going to say? Are they going to make fun of it?
apologies. I'm admitting right now that it's not cool, but it
No, I
happens.
mean, I
And
vote in all of my elections, but
I
like,
think maybe what the show is trying to do is be like, everybody votes for this, try to get people to get out and vote. So they're like, see, everybody votes. The girl at the dog place, this guy driving a truck, everyone's out there voting in every local election. So
yeah.
good for you, Showtime. We've done it. We get the point.
So so he's so likable. He's like, hey, if a state senator can have a bad day, I guess anybody can. And like, she's
Mhm.
like, that should have been my campaign slogan. All of a sudden, she's like so charming, even though she's been completely dissociated,
And
like
she looks
sleep driving. She's like,
they're doing amazing things with her face
yeah,
and makeup. Like, this is a beautiful actress, and she
yeah,
looks
and
like she hasn't slept in 3 weeks.
and then he has this one of those nudie pens that you flip it around and the lady's
Mhm.
naked, and he thinks she's gonna judge him, and because she's a state senator, and he's like, oh, that was from a friend or so, and she's like, can I buy this off you? Like, all of a sudden, best friends road trip.
Which
She
is
is a
also
woman
weird
of the
because I feel
people.
like, but logically, if I was in her position and the guy had a nudie pin, I would not get in the car. And she's not afraid at all. And I'm like,
No,
you can defend, because like
because
my
I
first
like that he
reaction
was
is not
embarrassed
like,
by it. He's not like,
well, because that's the reaction everyone's gonna have, but I would immediately be like, is this gonna be a dangerous situation? I
I think
wouldn't
if he's a
know.
creep, he wouldn't be embarrassed by it.
I mean, I think you could have a lot creepier stuff, but if you're just like getting a ride, I don't know. The whole situation, I just don't understand why she had run out of gas. Like, what was the point of
Right.
that action in the show to
Was
have
that
her
truck
run out of
driver
gas?
the cousin of somebody they needed to give a part to?
Well,
Is it
that's
just to
the only
show how
how is this furthering her story?
I mean, I
That
found him so likable, I would love to have more of him,
but we had
but
10 seconds of him, so why did we need him? It's a
right.
little that's why I kind of don't understand why he was there. Is that pen gonna come into play? Like, what was the I don't understand.
Maybe she brought the pen for Van as a gift, you know? Hey, we're lesbians. Here's a nudie lady pen as a gift.
But I also am
So
like,
maybe the whole thing was just because of the pen.
so if we're assuming that the show doesn't do anything not on purpose, right? Let's go with that assumption. The only thing that I can think is the 2 times we get I noticed it on the second watching was she flips the pin and they move the whole camera upside down. And I was like, "That's interesting,"
Sorry, the
because they
pen?
had just done that in the Lottie shot. When Lottie falls backwards on the ground, they flip the whole camera upside down. And I was
They
like,
do it with the pen.
"Why are
Interesting.
they doing that?" And I don't wanna say it's something like the upside down, but it's making me be like, are we supposed to start thinking here that there are 2 worlds, 2 timelines? Like, where are we going?
I
Does that
just
make
think
sense?
overall this
I
episode
don't
was,
know.
like, very visually pleasing, like the stuff with
It
Natalie and the
was.
moose. So maybe it was just directed by someone different.
Jake?
Jake will just look it up really fast,
Yeah,
and
no,
then we'll be so impressed that he knows how to use IMDb.
I know. Jake, please tell us what's going on with the director. Okay, anyways, yeah, I don't know, but she gets to while you were streaming. Did you see all the important stuff in the shop?
In the shop, in Van's shop.
In Vans and also while you were streaming, which is amazing because it's while
While
you were
you were
sleeping.
streaming is so great,
And it's the
and
callback to the story she tells in episode 1.
it's all about Sandra Bullock and While You Were Sleeping,
That
always.
and Bill Pullman, always, yeah.
Always.
Mhm.
Footloose, Train Spotting, like it's so, and on the top of the shop is like a giant outline of a VHS tape. Like, how does
Yeah.
this place stay in business? But I love it.
So I would say the 2 most important ones on the marquee are gonna be Mean Girls next to Into the Wild. That was
Mm.
important because that's
Mhm.
kinda telling,
That's,
and
yeah, that
they
makes perfect
also
sense.
pause on Ty coming in, and you see the giant poster. The first poster you see when you walk in is Rosemary's Baby, which feels also
Not good for
apropos.
Shauna's baby, but
And I
yes.
believe that poster also that's kind of up by is the hands and the woman in the middle
That
right
looks
ab
like Psycho.
or is it Human Centipede? And then up to the right above that, you see Exorcist to the
I'm gonna say this
right.
is Psycho from the shower.
Is that Psycho from the shower?
To me, that's what it looks like.
Okay. I don't know. It's a lot of horror movies on that wall, though. And then Rosemary's Baby, right when you walk in, is interesting, but then none of the ones up there are really horror movie. It's like Wayne's World and Bound, which I believe is about 2 women.
Yes, it is.
So there you
That
go.
was like big, like, oh my gosh.
Oh, was it? Okay.
When it came out, it was a very much like, oh, women kissing. Oh my God. Um,
Interesting.
Very interesting about Rosemary's Baby too. And Mean Girls in the Wild is so spot on. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I loved the whole thing. I can't wait to see more of Van. So super excited. So adult Shauna and Jeff. Oh God. Let's just go through this so fast.
Oh, brother, Jake, you're right.
What did
Sorry,
Jake
I
say?
just read in the comments. Yeah, that the naked lady upside down is important.
Because it's the lady on the hook.
We were right there, you know.
We were so close.
Okay.
We just sometimes need Jake.
Thanks, Jake.
Where did he
Boy.
say that? I don't even see that comment.
I saw it's up a little bit. It's yeah, of course it's important.
Yeah.
And that's why they hone in on it. Like,
Yeah.
because it does, it's like a minute. Like that, you know, if everything is deliberate, then
Yeah.
all
It's
right.
that because the girl in the pit, they do strip down naked before they
Which
hang
I
her up.
had thought they didn't, and then see, yeah, there we go.
Because you
Okay.
keep having missed that shot somehow. I still keep saying I need to text it to you, and I still haven't.
I just need to go back and no, I totally believe you. I totally believe. I just
I know.
I'm that's gotta be it, right?
Yeah.
It's gotta be it. Yeah. Oh, it's so someone else said it too. Waffle Cat.
Oh,
Okay.
thank you. Good job.
Thank you.
So adult Shauna and Jeff and Callie. So Jeff likes odor-resistant crew socks from Kohl's in case anyone
She's
was
going to
wondering.
Kohl's.
She is going to use her Kohl's cash.
She's going to use her Kohl's
Which
cash.
is another joke from a podcast all the time. I don't know why. We just think it's hilarious. And
I think
she,
it's great. It's like, this is who Shauna is now.
yeah,
Cold
it's
cash.
it's the opposite of who she wanted to be. And
I don't even think it is the opposite of who she wanted to be. I think when she comes out of the wilderness, it's exactly who she wants to be, and she keeps trying to pretend that she's this, and she's clearly not. She's got all this other stuff
yeah,
happening where she's holding up chop shops,
yeah,
but, like, really what she wants to be doing is buying sweat-resistant crew socks, maybe.
maybe.
I don't know.
Are they? No, they're odor resistant.
Oh, odor resistant, excuse me.
But that makes it so much. This is like the least sexy conversation that a
It
married
is.
couple could have. It's like, they're pooping in front of each other at this point with the door open because, like, I just
Maybe.
would like a little bit more mystery.
I'm
But
not sure. Hard to tell about their marriage.
yeah,
I mean,
if they're trying to add this like midlife crisis sexy stuff where they're having sex in the art studio and they're, getting held up together in a carjacking, like, then just don't talk about odor resistant socks.
well, I think they keep trying to go back to this normalcy of life, but, like,
Right.
clearly nothing's ever going to be normal again.
No.
This is all we've
Yeah.
moved way past this now, and
Yeah.
she keeps trying to go back to it, and it's just failing.
Yeah.
So, and then now it becomes a thing with the whole conversation with Callie where it's like, okay, we're just that family. We've got these horrible things that we've done, and we're just all going to be horrible together, I
Right.
guess, and
Yeah.
stew in this pot of murder.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because when she took Callie out, she finds out Callie's been lying. She
Mhm.
takes her out to the middle of nowhere where there's no cell phone service. And I was
That's not
like,
good.
is she gonna kill Callie? Is she? Please let her kill Callie.
Just on accident.
Just by accident.
Yeah.
No. She's just like, this is what our family is. She admits the whole thing to her. Because Callie is so like done with lies. She's so like over lies, mom. I don't know why I'm making fun. I talk the same way. So they discuss it. I will say this is the second time where I feel like Callie has shown some actual sympathy or empathy towards her mom, towards what she
Mhm.
went through in the woods. The first was when she
Mhm.
took Jackie's uniform and she thought it was her mom's. And when she
Right.
says that was Jackie's uniform, and she's like, "Oh my God, mom, I'm so sorry. You went through something so terrible." And now again, her mom's like, "Can I just say we did stuff we're not proud of, and maybe I'll tell you another time. Is that okay?" And she's like, "Yeah." And I think she
Is she
does.
wearing Jackie's jacket?
Did she take? What do you mean? No, not the jacket. It was the jersey. Are you talking about in that
In
Halloween
the
episode?
party
No,
scene?
no, no. A few people thought that. No, it's the jersey.
Okay,
It
thanks.
was
Alright,
her
sorry.
uniform to play, like
So
the
she took it at
shorts.
home.
She took it from the closet at home. Jackie's jacket went in the fire with Jackie,
Okay,
and
just
then they
making
probably
sure.
ate pieces of it.
I'm literally just making sure.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. So no, a couple people thought the same thing.
hmm.
So Shauna tells Jeff that she told Callie everything, and he's mad because he wanted to protect Callie from everything. But then Callie comes in and she knows how to chop a cucumber, unlike Kendall Jenner, and it's like happy family. Did you notice the close up of the cutting cucumber? And
Well,
that
that
felt to
was
me
weird
like a dig
because
towards
then
Kendall Jenner. But
I don't
also,
know what you're talking about.
there's
Was
a viral video from their show where Chris is like, "Do you want me to get the cook to cook you something?" She's like, "No, I'm going to make myself a snack, cucumber," because that's what they eat for snacks. And she's trying to cut it like this. She's like, literally, can you see what I'm doing? This is the cucumber. She's holding the knife like this way to cut it like this. And Chris is just staring at her. And then she keeps going, "Do you, chef, maybe you could help her?" And she's like, "No, I got it." And like, it's the funniest thing, but then everyone was like, it's kind of sad that she was raised in that world where she doesn't literally even know how to cut a cucumber. Like, she
and
doesn't
probably
know how
won't
to
ever
hold a knife.
have to.
She
That's
wouldn't have to. Yeah.
okay, wait a minute though. Did you notice in
Cucumber?
the long ways?
No, but like, not like this. Holding it like
Oh,
this
from the back to
from
the
the back, holding it like this, and then going like this. Like with her hands like this.
I don't know. I've got some weird stuff like that too, so I'm not gonna judge that till I see it. because I tend to do things backwards.
Jake,
Okay.
always helpful, has
So
found a
thanks,
clip of
Jake.
it. Thank you,
So
Jake.
hold on. Did you see though in the cucumber shot, it's like her cutting the cucumber, and I was like, why are we seeing this? And then it goes, and we go below the cucumber. Did you see that? It's like the camera goes down
So
into
you're
the bar and
obsessed.
it goes
You
into
think it's
something else.
all underworld, above
I
world, two
don't know what's
worlds.
happening.
No,
I don't
but
know
we
why
do think there is an underworld that is in the pipes, in the mall, in the tunnels,
is it
in the
mole people?
mines.
Is it mole people?
It's always possible. Is this that The Hills Have Eyes?
Is
One of
this The
those kind of things.
Descent? Do you remember The Descent? That show when the women go into the caves in the Do you
Yes.
remember? Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah.
That was freaky. All right.
I think part of it is also just they keep showing her mom in the kitchen, and it's always something
Chopping.
super creepy with
And now it's
meat. But
Callie.
like now it's Callie, who's I don't know. It's very interesting.
I don't know where that story is going, so I'm curious. I want them to get there faster because
Well, next
I
week it
just
looks
want
like
to know.
she hangs out with that undercover cop again,
And then tells the family about it.
and then tells the
And
family.
then
I'm like,
so
you
this is
didn't
just a whole
learn.
separate storyline. Yeah. Okay.
I can't.
Let's just get through it.
So who is next?
Not that mean I get through it. I mean, I'm having a hard time with it because I want Shauna to join the others. Like Shauna's not really on a quest except to not get arrested. And so I want her to get involved with Natalie and Lottie or something like that. Right. I just sort of want that mystery.
Yeah.
Not this other one right
Yeah.
now. But we have someone in the no tunnels. See, there are people in the no tunnels. Okay.
We do.
It's hard. I don't know.
I'm not convinced there's tunnels. Fool me once. So yeah, we don't know.
We don't know. All right.
Okay, so adult Natalie, she gets to leave the compound to go. Why hasn't she left yet? She is there willingly at this point, right?
Because she's gonna find out what she's lying, what Lottie's lying about Travis.
So she's staying because she had said, I want to leave. And Lottie's like, you can't leave till tomorrow when the train comes or wherever they are. But she could have left by now. She's still wearing the same clothes, the same smelly clothes.
Good.
I'm sure
she's
they're
determined to not wear purple, which I full-heartedly approve of.
She wore a little purple last week.
She wore the shrug over her clothes and then took it off.
Yeah, but that was symbolic. She was like dipping her toe into it. So she's going to sell honey at the farmer's market with what's her name? I think it's Lisa. Is it Lisa?
So yes, it is Lisa. This is
she
all
does
just
not look like a Lisa to me.
No, this is all just a ploy to get the keys, right? This is all just a ploy to get Lottie's keys because this whole thing seemed weird to me. Her going to farmer's market and stuff.
She's trying to get the keys to search in Lottie's house for something about Travis. But in the meantime, she has this bond with Lisa, who a lot of people online think Lisa is someone very important. They think she is either Shauna's daughter from the woods or somehow Natalie and Travis's daughter. Like they had a child.
Yeah, I said that last time.
Oh, you said that last time.
There's another theory, but I'm not going to talk about it this time. I'm going to wait. I'm going to hold on that theory.
So she's trying to convince Lisa that it's not a cult, which never works. And it's like this odd couple road trip movie, like buddy comedy, but they hate each other, but it's kind of fun. And then they go to Lisa's house because Lottie doesn't let her go there or like her to go because it's a cult, even though she thinks it's not a cult. And then her mom is very like, we learn a lot about Lisa, and she's not on medication anymore, and she's been through a lot. And her mom is very demeaning, like, you need my help. You can't do anything by yourself. You're going to kill that fish. And so Natalie acts like a big sister kind of and defends the cult and defends Lisa and steals the fish for her in her mouth. Why didn't you just grab a cup and scoop? Why did she put it in her mouth? To keep it moist from the walk to the car?
I don't know. Does this become important? Why is any of this
I
important?
think
Why are
it's
we
just
seeing
Lisa has to be important. Otherwise, is this just to show that Natalie is changing because she's caring about someone else? And then they go to a bar and Natalie pushes away a drink. And she doesn't want to harm herself anymore. So it's almost like she's getting help from the cult that she's investigating. Someone wrote us and was like, "Well, remember how the season starts, series starts, and she's in the rehab. She's been to rehab a lot. She's like comfortable in that setting, even though she
That's
rejects it at
true.
first, but then she usually like gets some sort of help, but
Sure.
then eventually leaves and falls back into her own ways. But it's sort of like a different kind of rehab. Not that cults are rehabs are cults, but you know what I mean. Like that is a familiar setting to her, even though she's resistant to it. So
I more
she
think
she's saying she's not drinking anymore.
I'm hoping it's that altruistic, but I'm wondering if this is not all a ploy to get Lisa on her side to help her figure out what Lottie's
What's going
doing.
on with Lottie?
Yeah. I'm more that might be what's happening. This is all a little bit of a show.
Mm-hmm.
Natalie's figured, okay, if I do this and befriend this person, I might be able to actually figure out what happened to Travis because Lisa seems real high up. So it's not a dumb idea.
Yeah.
It's sort of it's smart. I just don't know why Lisa would take Natalie to her mother's house. Seems
Because
really
she can't
odd.
she's only allowed to leave when she goes to sell the honey, and the guy she's normally with doesn't let her ever go because
Oh,
Lottie
I
doesn't
understand.
like her to go because Lottie is a cult leader who's trying to separate them from their families.
Well, and then we meet the mother, and it seems like, yeah, it's probably not good for her to be around her
Exactly.
mom. Is the mom moving?
The
Why
mom
is the
did have a
house
lot of
filled with
boxes.
boxes?
Yeah.
Also, Oliver thought maybe she was in an MLM, the mom, and was
That's
selling
totally possible too.
something online,
Yeah.
supplements,
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Also, the mom had a lot of spoons, which I found very exciting. Natalie's coming down the stairs, and there are 3 giant glass cases of spoons when you go somewhere and you buy a spoon at the gift shop.
Oh, like collector spoons.
Collector spoons, 3 huge wall panels of them.
Maybe because Lisa is metaphorically out of spoons, which people who some people will
That's right.
understand that. Um,
Yes.
and so it's all symbolic. And Natalie's been out of spoons many times, but
There we
Natalie is
go.
gaining her spoons back.
Okay.
And
Maybe it's that.
it's weird that she would have all this stuff still in boxes, but the spoons have made it up on the wall or are staying on the
But
wall.
this also clearly isn't a new house. There were pictures of it was really interesting to show the pictures of Lisa and her mom, and Lisa's not smiling in any of them.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know. Something was going on in that house. Why were the boxes there?
QVC shopper.
QVC shopper. Okay,
Yeah.
so hoarder, maybe.
Mhm.
Or not even a hoarder because the house did not seem hoarded. So maybe stress shopper,
Yeah.
compulsive shopper.
It's
Interesting.
very interesting.
Okay.
Um, Jake, I don't know what you mean by this. Natalie willingly went in the car. She arranged the whole thing to go to the honey, and Lottie was suspicious of it.
No, Natalie did. Yeah. Natalie wanted to get the keys.
Yeah.
Really, I think it was a whole ploy to get those keys. So she
Mhm.
had to do this trip along. Heliotrope LuLaRoe.
Yeah, she could sell heliotrope LuLaRoe leggings.
Oh,
Yep.
also, did anybody see that there was something that the showrunners stated that they were doing Teal Swan vibes on purpose?
Yeah, I figured it had to
They
be.
are.
Yeah.
And so I think that they are doing it a lot like Teal Swan is like, you don't have to, she does these kind of radical, like walk through your pain type exercises. And I feel like that's what we were seeing with the being buried and
That can be
rebirthed and
very
things like that.
dangerous. Yeah, go
Yes.
off your medication
Yeah. I think that's
and
what
things I won't repeat here because they're triggering.
we will not.
But
No.
yeah, but
But
like
yeah. So I
it's
think they're
very
doing that
dangerous. Yeah.
on purpose where we're not, and also very clearly stating we're not a cult. You can leave anytime you want. We're not
But as
and we're not
Natalie
a
picks
self-help.
up, she's like, so they have boundaries that make you think you have freedom, but you don't actually have the freedom you are thinking that you have. So
This all
It's
feels like it's gonna be super important, and
it's
I'm just
very
not
tricky.
smart enough to
But
figure
I'm
it
trying
out.
to see the best in Lottie and think she really does wanna help people, but she is also a cult leader. So, it might not be as, like, violent or scary a cult as we've seen, but we don't know everything about it yet. They
But
were gonna
also,
bury that dude alive,
but
and
is this something too where it's Lottie is an unwilling cult leader in seems like in the wilderness? Is this happening again? Because the adult scenes we're getting with Lottie and the doctor, which I'm assuming we're gonna
I'm
talk
gonna
about in
get
a
to right now,
second.
yeah.
Yeah, that leads me to believe some other stuff about Lottie. Like, Lottie is not portrayed in a horrible light most of this time. She's
No.
just not. I don't dislike Lottie.
And it's the scenes where no one else is around where you really see that she is struggling and has good intentions,
Right.
which makes me think she's not faking it for Natalie or for anybody. She actually does, like, have some good intentions. But we did see how annoyed she got about the smoothie. That's a great point, and
The smoothie was weird.
the smoothie was weird. And if you're asking about Teal Swan, who Katie did in previous episodes didn't like me to say her name because she thought we was gonna get sued, but now we can say it because the producers have said it, I guess.
I didn't think we were gonna get sued. I just would
She would
prefer
come
no
after
one in
us.
the comments to just I know a lot of people enjoy her content.
They do? Still?
Sure. Sure.
Okay. So, but there's a Hulu doc about her
I think it's
called
called The Deep End.
The Deep End. Yeah, and
Go
it's
find it.
scary. So Lottie, adult Lottie. So she asks her new psychiatrist because her old psychiatrist suddenly went on sabbatical without
Nope.
telling her.
Mm, nope.
Did
That's very
anyone else? I'm
suspicious.
glad you thought so because
Nope.
instantly I was like,
Nope, nope,
that's
nope.
not right.
Nope, nope,
Something's
nope,
not
nope,
right.
nope, nope. Nope.
I don't trust that. And so she says, I need you to put me on more medication because these visions have come back and they're bad. And the last time these visions happened, it got really bad. And she's talking about the woods and the
Mhm.
cabin. And
Mhm.
she's like, now I'm trying to help people. So I don't want this going on. And the doctor says, maybe you shouldn't be pushing away the visions. Maybe they're trying to
Nope.
tell you something.
Nope. Plant. Nope.
I
Nope.
do not
She is
trust that psychiatrist as
this
far as
doctor
I
has
can throw her. And
Oliver said
Lottie's
she's a
like,
plant.
"They're
I
not trying
agree.
to tell me anything. They're not real." And the doctor's like, "Hmm, so
Also,
suspicious."
don't go see I'm sorry, but you've had, like, a lot of stuff, and I don't know how much she's told this previous Dr. Graham about what happened out there, but if this is the only person on the planet that you've shared
Right,
a bit of this information with,
right.
why is she so calm about saying, "I'm assuming you've read my file about what my childhood," like, she's sort of saying, This woman shouldn't know any of that. Who is this
Right,
person? Who is
right.
this doctor?" I do not like this. I do not.
And to answer this question, like, she wasn't scheduled to meet again for another 5 weeks. Is that normal scheduling when you're on your meds? Yes. If you've been
Yeah,
stable for a long time on the same medications with no changes, you might go several months without seeing them,
yeah.
especially if you're busy and you're a cult leader. But if you're changing medications or not doing that great, then it would be much more often.
Mhm.
So, I think that part's plausible, but the part that's weird is he didn't tell me that he was leaving. Yeah, I think he just suddenly went on sabbatical. But I know everything. I've been filled in on all his notes.
Also, sabbatical. Did she say sabbatical?
Right, yeah, so it was like, is he, like, where is he? Is he being held somewhere?
Also, how long is he going to be gone? Does that mean she's only gonna see this fill-in doctor for
Right.
while they get this regulated? That's
Is he
no.
like, Berth whatever the woman in Harry Potter who got a mind curse on her and they sent her off into the jungle, you know?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about
Like
that. Yeah, who was that? Yeah,
because
exactly.
they made her forget stuff and then was like,
Mhm.
"Bye-bye." That's where her doctor currently is on sabbatical. It's
Or
very
or
strange.
dead.
Or
I think
dead, for
Dr.
sure
Graham
dead. Yeah,
may no longer be living.
yeah. The
Mm,
woods killed Dr. Graham. Yeah.
maybe. I
Or,
just
oh, this is good. Jennifer says, "Does Misty have the
yeah.
psychiatrist in a basement?" Very good.
What are we gonna find next week in Lottie's cupboard? because Natalie's now it's time. And also, I thought it was interesting that she pushes away the shot, but I don't know if anybody noticed. So she pushes away the shot at the bar. And the next shot, they have her smoking a cigarette.
Yeah.
And I was like, I feel like they might be hinting to us, don't believe everything you see. That like Natalie was indeed doing that kind of, I'm not going to do that to myself today either. Push. And it seemed a little cheesy when she did it. And then the next scene, you see her smoking a cigarette. And I'm like,
But I think a lot of
okay.
people giving up on alcohol would have cigarettes still. You can only cut one thing at a time
I
sometimes.
think it's on purpose. I honestly do. I would normally think that, but I don't think they're trying to let us. I don't know if she's genuinely friends with Lisa.
Well, they also show us the beginning, in the beginning, like previously, they show us Misty injecting those cigarettes with the fentanyl or whatever. And if someone's being poisoned, if we go into Lottie's cabinet and there is something that she's putting in the maca root or whatever, the stuff she wanted, ginkgo biloba, I don't remember what it was.
She didn't want the maca.
She didn't want the maca. She wanted the, what is it?
Ashwagandha.
Ashwagandha. And I sound like Joni right now.
I'm just going to say a lot of words.
Maybe there's something that's where if she is indeed putting stuff in people's drinks to keep them easy breezy, compliant. I don't know.
Or killing them.
Or
I really don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
No, and I do know, that the sober and smoking, I do know, chat, I promise. I'm just saying, I'm wondering if we're...
Yeah. She's still Natalie. She's smoking. She's still being Natalie. Yeah.
That did not... And not saying that Natalie wouldn't be able to give up drinking or whatever, but it seemed like very pointed for Lisa's effect to get Lisa to think that she's changing. So
right.
That's
and
why
the
I'm
audience, this could be a whole thing about the audience. Like, they want people like me to fall for it and be like, wow, Natalie is really falling for this cult thing. And then she's going to do a big turnaround and, blow everything up.
I'm wondering.
It's a twist.
Yeah. I'm wondering. I feel like there's more to that story. Don't know. We'll see. Okay.
Julia says, I need a video of Joni watching Yellowjackets. Funnily enough, I just posted one on Patreon a few days ago. I made a compilation of Joni secretly being recorded, watching Yellowjackets and Law and Order SVU and Dateline.
Oh my gosh.
And lots of, oh my gosh. Oh my God. What is he doing? It's so fun. And
and for those of you that don't know, Joni is Kimberly's adorable
mom. And I might put it on regular social media. I'm trying to decide if it should stay on Patreon or not. She's a little embarrassed, but she said if it will help the podcast, then she'll do it.
Your mom is very sweet. All right, what else we got?
So Lottie is later looking at the gratitude entries, and she keeps seeing a vision of this. Oh, sorry. I got it. I have too many slides up. Sorry. I got a little slide happy in this episode. This.
Yeah. So this is the big one.
Eyes gouged out like the man with no eyes.
Yeah.
And
this is what the internet's afire about.
What are they saying?
Well, I think in the first season, it's very clearly stated that there are no queens in the deck that they're playing with. It's a full deck, but there are no queens. The queens were removed.
That is true. That's a great point. That's such a good point. Natalie says, there are no queens in that deck.
Yeah.
At some point last season or maybe this season. Yeah.
Also in the box art for this season, there is there is that card. It's up in the top and it's kind of stuck into the bone array. I have a heavy spoiler and I don't know what to say. Ugh. Do you want a spoiler?
No.
It was a giveaway from one of the actresses in an interview. I watched it myself, and she does talk about what the cards do. You guys want to know, or do you not want to know? You don't want to know.
I don't feel like we should spoil it, but I
think she spoiled it on accident. So it's if you want to go and watch it, how about I tell you where to find it?
Yeah, it's
good. Both Shauna's. They did an interview with Bustle Magazine. It's about 5 minutes long. It's on YouTube.
Okay.
And she says very clearly something that happens with the cards. And I think she did it on accident.
Do they have a reaction like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you said that"?
No, she doesn't really react. It's the younger Shauna, the actress that plays the younger Shauna says it, and they just sort of don't. I don't know if they knew when this was gonna be released, the interview, but I think we're there a little too early for her to be talking about this.
Okay.
And so it does talk about the cards.
Okay.
And it's just one sentence, like, kind of a few minutes in, you'll see it, and she says something about pulling a card. That's it.
Okay.
So there you go. Go find it on YouTube. It's both, and it's for Bustle Magazine, and it's both Shauna's in like a 5-minute interview. There you go. But I think the
Do they
cards
use
are
the cards to decide something?
Mhm.
Do they use the cards to decide who they're gonna eat?
I'm not gonna tell you anymore. Go watch the interview.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Uh,
I don't exactly know. So go gauge what you think it means by the interview, but it is a spoiler about the cards. So I
okay.
think they are gonna play heavily, and I thought they might when it's in the art,
Well, in
right?
this episode, Misty and Crystal are playing with the cards.
Okay. And also
When
it's
they're all
weird that
just hanging out.
it's weird that it's the queens. And how do the queens just all of a sudden show up when they're missing from the deck before? Are they just gonna
Right.
start showing up? Is Javi gonna have the queens?
It's very lottery vibes. It's very
Yeah,
I'm tribute the when
the
they pulled the
volunteers
tribute.
tribute.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
It
very
feels
creepy.
it feels weird because I can't
Mandy,
imagine
I warned you so many times to watch last season as a refresher. Go back, girl. I
how are you
can't
being
recommend
cruel?
it enough because of things like, that deck has no queens, which
Oh, they
is
have been using the cards to draw for chores. You're right.
oh, interesting.
So
See, I
there you
missed that.
go.
See, and I've watched it like 10 times and I missed that.
So there you go.
Totally missed that.
Mm-mm.
So, Leonard, the teddy bear, has the queens.
Leonard is the queen. I love Leonard. He's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Kimberly, I just asked Lady questions. Okay. So,
Don't tell me, but let me drag it out of you.
but I thought that Lottie's like Lottie with the blood. So what Lottie goes to do next is
Right.
like so we see it twice this episode, that sort of
Mhm.
slicing of the palm, which again, I don't that would
It's always
really
a palm that
it's gonna
people seem to
hurt.
cut with. Yeah. You
Dude,
gotta
like
use that hand. At least do your upper arm or something you don't
I
use
don't
that
know. Yeah,
much.
I was trying to think where could you use that it wouldn't like it feels like you're doing it in the crook of your elbow, a place that you're constantly
Yes.
moving,
Yeah.
where
No,
it just is
totally.
a pain
Yeah,
or
but
like
I
between your
think it's
finger.
symbolic. Like people always do that. They
Yeah.
or if like they're doing like a blood oath. You
It
cut
is
both
super
hands.
dramatic looking too with the
Yeah.
giant knife,
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Also,
get
they
it.
cut way more than they need to. You could just do like a and instead they're like cut the entire hand.
Yeah. Interesting.
Jackie, Ghost Popsicle Jackie, she cut her forearm. Remember? She started to cut skin off when she was
Oh,
but it
yeah,
was really
that's right.
Shauna doing it, you know?
Oh, boy.
Um, so she does that over like a tree stump that's reminiscent of the eye. I was a little like, "Is that the same tree stump?" No, they're not in the woods because
They
they're
are in the woods, they're just
they
in a different
they're in a
woods.
they're close enough to town where they can go to,
Farmer's
the
market.
farmer's market, so it's not the same
But
woods.
then we also don't know that these people in the wilderness are not close enough to a town. I'm still gonna be really upset if we get to the thing and it's like they
Well,
were
they have tracked 7 miles in each direction,
I'm
unless
gonna be
the whole earth is
upset
shifting like the Hunger Games
where they're on the
episode
clock.
2.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
be upset if it's 8 miles and then there's a town. I'm gonna be upset if it's 7 miles, nothing, 8 miles,
7.1,
then there's a
there's a
Cracker
town.
Barrel, and,
There is
like,
outlet
there
malls.
you go. Yeah.
Yeah. There's
Mhm.
Nordstrom Rack.
Everyone's gonna be upset.
Yeah. So she says about the blood, she says, "Can this just be enough?" And
Mhm.
to me, I interpreted that like, "Can my blood just be enough?" Because she heard that woman saying it wants blood. Like, please don't let us have to kill anyone else.
Yes, that
Can my
is
blood just stop
can
this?
this just be enough?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I don't want anyone else to die.
Like how she just did this in the wilderness in this episode, and all of a sudden Javi's being delivered.
Mhm.
Sorry, I hope it's not that. I don't think
Poor
it might
Javi.
be that. Do you guys think it's that? I'm probably wrong. I
The
don't know.
Coach Ben is going way before Javi.
He wasn't delivered, though, by the Woods
That's
themselves,
true.
so we don't know.
That's true.
Okay. What else do we have? Are we at Misty and Walter?
Misty and her new boyfriend Walter.
I
So
can't
and
stand it. He's bad, but, like, I want him to be good. I'm
the thing
upset.
is, though, it's too perfect. Like, everything he's saying to her, he says, "Oh, you're
I know.
such a good friend. Your friends are so lucky to have you," which is, like, what she's always
I
wanted someone to
100%.
say. It's
Mhm.
like it's so perfect, everything that he's doing, and he pulls out the mixtapes, and then she's like, "That's too much. You're a Yellowjacket crazy fan." And he's like,
Yeah.
"No, I saw that you dropped a Sweeney Todd reference on the Citizens Detective board. I love musicals too. Let's, it's too perfect."
Is he somebody's brother? Is he, like, somebody who died? Is
Who's
he
seeking
Mari's
revenge
little
or something.
brother? Is
Yeah,
he Yeah, who is he?
right. That's a good I
Yeah, the
that
tapes were
happened
too
in that
much.
book club. We do a book club for Patreon, like, once every 7 months,
Yeah.
and in one of the books we read, there was a similar plot.
Do you think that could be it?
Definitely. I
Or
don't
that he's
want to
just
believe
CIA?
that. I want to believe that
I
they are
know.
twin flames and they are they
I
are
know.
one, they are soulmates.
Well,
But
and they do that amazing that montage is everything that's right
okay,
in the
but
world.
before that, so we learned that he was had a bunch of bricks fall on him and has a metal plate in his head, and that's why he's a multimillionaire because he sued. And he's quirky and he makes his food into little tacos when he's eating. And they what?
Don't. Don't you overlook that. He has ham
Yeah.
with scrambled eggs in it,
Yeah.
pours syrup on top, and then mustard.
I think that sounds pretty good, except for the ham, obviously.
Misty and I agree that is not good.
So they go to the farmer's market because that waitress knows right away who she's talking about. They're bad
Yeah.
tippers. We learn they're bad tippers.
That was amazing. That was
So
a great
one thing
tidbit.
Lottie is not, we can blame her for specifically, is she doesn't teach her followers to be good tippers, to
And that's
wait
messed up.
staff, and that's effed up.
That's messed up. That's like leaving a dressing room a mess at a retail place. If you've never worked retail, like, don't do that.
Don't do
Don't do
that.
that to
So
people
now
who
we have
work
something we
retail.
can
Don't not tip.
specifically put on Lottie.
Yeah, and I will be.
Yeah.
It's in my notes. I'm not
So
happy.
we have to eat Kimberly now because I thought it sounded good. So they go to check into a motel, and Misty checks in. Did you catch this? As Lady Malawan,
I did.
who is Agatha Christie.
Did you know who he checked in as?
I didn't Google that one. Who was
So
that?
he said it sounds like John Wayne, but if you have the subtitles on, it's actually John Lang, who
Okay.
is Michael Crichton's pseudonym.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Mhm.
They're
It's
made for
also
each other.
It's also, if you spell it without the E, it's Lange, is Michael Crichton's pseudonym, and it's all of his, like, kind of pulpy novels, I guess, that he wrote in college. They're all, like,
Oh, how fun.
Venom Woman or whatever. It's stuff like that, and then,
Yeah.
but there's a case of John Lang that I then looked up, and it's something that happened in Fresno, California, that's something wild that I have to look into later. I don't know exactly what happened there, but there were a bunch of, like, the bizarre story of this murder? Question mark? Don't know. He died. Something happened. Anyways, but it's not spelled the same way that they had it in the subtitles. So I think they're both just supposed to be
Interesting.
the pseudonyms of these authors. I thought that was
Mhm.
cute. Yeah.
Very cute.
Mhm.
And then we get that beautiful montage, and they are checking their separate motel rooms for bugs and listening devices and cameras and putting on their gold face masks
That
and
was funny. And then the brilliant song, The Angst in My Pants.
angst in my pants.
Or Angst in Your
Angst in your
Pants.
pants.
It
Yeah.
that was
You've got
this
angst
was
in your pants.
This was fantastic. This
Yeah.
was really fun, and I think they're not underestimating how much we like Misty, or I like Misty and Walter. I enjoy them as like the side characters right now.
So
I feel like it's not gonna last, but I love
Jake
it.
thinks both Crystal and Walter are figments of Misty's
I
imagination, or
actually
some
had
people
that
think
thought
that.
too. I had that thought too. I was like,
And
no.
someone's pointing out Wilderness Misty feels left out. Enter Crystal. Present Misty feels left out. Enter Walter. Now, in the
Oh
past, when she's felt
no.
left out, she's just kidnapped someone. But everyone else seems to be able to see these people. So
No, and
it
we're
doesn't.
about to see Natalie, and Natalie says, "Who's this?
Who's this?" And he goes in the preview. It's so hilarious. Elijah Wood's like, "I've heard such good things about you," to Natalie.
Walter is
Adorable.
Elijah Wood is killing it. Also, yes, I did pause on the cassette tapes. So I did
To see
read
what they
all of
were.
I don't know what the musical is where they're trains.
Starlight Express.
I thought they're on roller skates.
Chugga 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 chugga.
But they're supposed to be trains?
Yeah. And
That's Andrew Lloyd Webber did that?
yes.
Sir.
It was very controversial.
I mean, I do love
I think it's pretty
skates
well
on stage. I'm not
disliked
mad.
as a musical. I saw it once.
Well, so is Cats.
It was fun. Yeah. And then they also
Cats is wonderful.
sing Evita.
Not the movie.
Or listen to Evita. So
yeah,
they both
which I'm wondering if that's important.
Could be.
They had a lot of musicals. They had Fiddler on the Roof. They had Rent. He had a lot of the big ones.
Mm-hmm.
Notably, no Phantom.
Which is what Misty likes, right?
What did we hear her? She seems to be an Andrew Lloyd Webber person. There's Cats on there, and then there's
in the
Les
first
Miserables.
season when she pulls up to kidnap Jessica.
Phantom.
That's
Phantom in the house. Yeah, Phantom in when Jessica's in the house, and then they listen to Cats when they listen to Mr. Mistopheles on the road trip with Natalie.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, which is about my cat Ulysses, because it's about a tuxedo cat.
So next week, Misty and Walter find Natalie at the cult.
Wait. No, I have one more thing about Misty and Walter that's important.
Oh, sure.
That we caught. When they show their phones, so this might mean something.
Yes,
just like the Moriarty thing. They show the sleep sounds, and she's listening to birds or whatever, and
parrots,
he's listening to Sleep Kitty. So it is a cat and a bird.
Oh, interesting.
Misty's the bird and he's the cat.
Very interesting.
So I feel like that's a little bit like the Sherlock Moriarty, where back then again, where it's like, oh, they're so good together. They're so good. And they're making us root for them. But it's like reminding us that like, hey.
But it could be that kind of relationship where they need each other to challenge each other.
Oh, I really hope you're right. But I think you're not.
He does have he is the Phantom with the gold, with the Phantom mask.
He does have the Phantom mask.
Yeah. So next week, Lottie tries to help Natalie. Mm-hmm. Good luck. But I'm assuming Natalie's going to sneak into Lottie's house because she still has the keys.
Definitely.
In the woods, Lottie is excited for Shauna's baby, and they're all gathered around discussing it. And Shauna is in the background looking like, I think she's scared they're going to eat her baby. I think she's like uncomfortable with Lottie being so excited about the baby.
I think she's probably uncomfortable with why are we not focused on the fact that Javi's returned alive?
Where was Javi?
Let's just wait on the baby talk. He'll come eventually. And also the fact
he's gonna come on his own. Javi has been out in the wilderness for months.
And Lottie is exactly continuing to call him. It's very, very clear. And she's like, as we prepare for him, as we do this,
there's going to be ceremonies.
It feels a lot like baby in a manger. It feels a lot like religious sort of symbology, Jesus in the woods. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, devil.
Or Rosemary's Baby. Satan baby.
Yeah. Shauna looks nervous. And then it looks like Shauna and Thaisa sneak off somewhere.
Is Thaisa trying to get her out?
That's what it made me think of. Shauna's super uncomfortable with something that's going on with the baby. And Thaisa, who is also anti-Lottie, is going to, but where are they going to go?
I bet you they're going to the plane. I bet you they're going to the plane.
Maybe.
The crash plane. She's like, I'll take you out of here. I'll help you. We'll take supplies or whatever. And then they get stuck in a storm.
Yeah.
And then I think Because I think also we are really set up in season 1 that Ty and Shauna are tight.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mhm.
Ty comes to Shauna to be like, "Can I sleep here?" I mean, they have a really good, and Natalie's tight with them too. The 3 of them,
Mhm.
remember, in the car catching, like,
Mhm.
they're good enough that they can hang out together and be okay.
Yeah.
They also don't they go to the reunion too? Yeah, they're good.
And
They're
they drag Misty along, yeah. And that thing that from season 1 where Shauna says, "Taissa, why have you been paying for Natalie's rehab this whole time?" And she says, "We wouldn't be here if it weren't for her." Which
huge.
is still, I don't think means the hunting. I think it means something else that Natalie did that helped them
I
survive.
think it's right before they go out. I think either Natalie had to make a really tough call or something. There's something
Mhm.
that happens that also makes Natalie have to make a decision that really messes with her later.
Yeah. And so Taissa kind of feels responsible
Right.
that she has all these addiction issues because of, yeah,
Mhm.
something that
Totally.
happened.
Mhm.
And then Callie, it appears, sees that undercover cop again, which is the creepiest storyline because once again, she's 16.
She's not 16 though, is she?
Not in real life, but
No,
in the
but is
show,
she
she's
6?
16. Yes. They've said it. She's 16.
Is she real? Okay, sorry. It feels like she's not in school. Is she going to high school?
Yes, she always says I have to study
Oh,
for my finals, but then she pretends she's actually with her boyfriend. I have to go do my math homework, mom. She sulks off.
oh my god. Okay, let's
You
keep
just
that
get
let's
confused
just
because
get to
you
the end
pretended
of
she
that
went to
storyline.
Rutgers when she
I
was day drinking at the bar because she's one of those kind of teens.
I didn't pay a lot of attention to Callie in
I
season
know
1.
you zone out during her scenes, I
I do,
think.
but, like, in season 1, I did too, so I'm
Yeah,
trying to, like, get involved, and
yeah.
it's
No,
not
she
going
is
great.
16. Yeah.
Okay.
They talk about her college fund only has $7,000 in it. Yeah.
I remember that. I don't know
Yeah.
why that's not clicking with me. Alright, got it. We'll see.
I mean, the actress is in her, I think, late 20s, so I
Yes.
understand why you're confused.
No, it's all yeah, I'm sorry. I'm gonna try to be more positive about Callie because
No, I think it's everyone's favorite part is us complaining about Callie.
I think people do not, and I do feel bad for the actress. It's not her fault.
It's not fair, but it
She's
is what it
doing
is.
fine. It's just
She's
of the
playing the part
storylines.
that they wrote for her, and she's nailing it.
Right, and of the storylines that we're getting, that's the one. It's kind of like Lisa going to talk to her mom. We know there's some things in it that are going to further the story, and it's
Right.
Lisa is obviously going to be important. She's
Mhm.
going to do something that's very important, which is the reason we're getting this, but sometimes it's hard when you know they're in the woods doing
Or
stuff
that
that
whole
you're
thing
like,
is a vehicle to show Natalie. But I still think
"Yeah."
there's something about Lisa. I
Oh, I
don't
think
know if she's the daughter or something like that, but it's an interesting theory because her age matches up, unlike Callie's. Um, but she looks a lot like Natalie and less like Shauna.
yeah.
But I don't know if Natalie ever had a baby.
I don't know if Sean is ever gonna have a baby. I don't know what's about to happen in
Is the
this
baby
storm.
just
Is she
gonna
about to lose her
disappear
baby?
into
No, but it's like,
dust?
is she gonna lose her baby?
That's possible. But I feel like it has to be something else. But we know they don't eat the baby because they've
N
said that many
no,
times.
but they've never said the baby survives.
No, that's true.
I have a
Yeah.
lot of questions. How far along is Shauna? Does anyone know?
7 months, I think. Didn't they say only 2 more months or something?
Okay,
Yeah.
alright. She's gonna
Uh,
need that upstairs room.
oh my god, I'm so excited. The actors on Yellowjackets are gonna be on Celebrity Family Feud. I love Family Feud. I love
Oh, how
Celebrity Family
fun.
Feud. My old boss went on Celebrity Family Feud, and I gave him advice, and he
Oh, I can't
won.
wait. Really?
Because I
There you
watch
go.
a lot of Family Feud. Um, I
But
re
you didn't go on?
I'm not part of his family. Um,
Oh, kinda. I feel like
uh,
side part.
yeah, I would have nailed it though. I'm
Yeah.
so excited. That's like when the cast of Dairy Girls went on Great British Bake Off. That's gonna
Oh,
be
that
so fun.
was brilliant.
Um,
It was the best
Also there
day.
is a video that I watched. It's a long, like half hour, 45-minute panel that the cast was on last season, and Juliette Lewis is having the worst time. And like she basically says she hates the way they wrote her character in season one. They promised her it was going to be something else, and then they ended it. And she gets several times really annoyed and upset, and like hates that she's on the show. And Thais is like trying to calm her down, and then at the end, she just like gets up and walks off, like before the thing is over, and it's crazy. And I feel badly for her because I know she's been through a lot in her life. And I also have Juliette Lewis stories from my time in Hollywood, but she's very nice. She's just been through a lot of addiction and trauma and stuff like that. I think she
So
didn't
maybe
want
that's what she didn't
I
like.
think
Maybe
she
there was
didn't no,
some.
she knew about that, I think. I think she didn't want the thing at the very end when she's
That's
gonna
what
kill
I'm
herself.
guessing. Yes,
Yeah.
100%. Yeah,
She didn't think that maybe she would ever do that, and she didn't think she was going to be as like spiraled out. Like I think maybe she
sure.
felt like it was all over Travis, and she didn't want her character to be like that spiraling because of a man, maybe. Um,
Interesting. Oh, I'll
and
have
but
to
that's
watch
not
that,
what the
but she
producers
really didn't.
promised her.
Oh, okay.
And it was the same interview in which Melanie Linsky said that she only signed up for the show when they explained to her up to season 5 what they had going on, because she didn't want to be involved in a show that was like Lost, where they didn't know where they were going. And so she said, I want
Oh,
to know what
you mean
happens in this season. I want to know what happens
are you
this
talking
season.
about Melanie said
Melanie,
that?
and they
Yes, I
explained to her.
heard
So
that.
it's that
Yeah.
same interview. Um, it's very interesting.
So she does know the arc. She completely
She
knows. Yeah.
knows up to season 5 that they have stuff planned for each, because she said like, what about this plot line, where is that going, how is this going to be wrapped up, and they explained it all to her, so she
That's
knows a
pretty
lot
cool.
more.
I don't know if everybody knows though. I think because
I
somebody
don't think
seemed
yeah, everybody
surprised
knows. Yeah,
in an interview that she knew everything. She goes, "Yeah, I know."
the
And they
other
were like, "What?"
actresses are like, we don't know who the Antler Queen is, we don't know who the girl in the pit is, we don't know who. Yeah,
That's
they don't know.
funny. That's funny. I like that only some people know, and you can tell that she's not gonna tell.
She's not going to
She's
tell.
gonna be real nice about it and
Yeah,
not tell you
but she's
a
not
thing.
braggy about it either.
No, she's yeah,
Yeah,
that's funny. She's a delight.
yeah,
I do love her very much. Melanie Linsky is great.
yeah,
She's that's the other thing is that I really like the Shauna scenes because I like her so much.
yeah,
I want to watch her. So
yeah.
that's really fun. Who are you enjoying the most right now, by the way, before we stop?
Misty.
Yeah. Misty and Walter.
Honestly, Shauna's storyline is just not doing much for me this season because it revolves so much around Callie. But I
And
did
Jeff.
love the stuff with Jeff wanting to go to churn butter. I loved that. Um,
Yeah.
Thaisa, I want to know what happens with Simone. Is she going to survive? What's going on? Is Van going to bring Thaisa back to? I don't know. Or how dark can Thaisa go?
I don't know. I have high expectations for adult Van
Yeah,
because young Van is my favorite. So I'm very worried
yeah,
because I want, come on, Lauren Ambrose, I'm pulling for you. Come on.
hmm
Come on.
yeah.
She's just such a great
She is.
character.
She's
She's
amazing. Yeah,
really
it was
fun.
perfect casting.
Yeah. So I'm hoping adult Van will be like that.
Yeah.
We'll see. And I'm excited for them to all converge. I really
Uh-huh.
want them to converge as in the adult world. And I feel
There's a
like
lot
that's going to
more happening in
happen.
the woods this season than in adult stuff. There's a lot more
Really?
like, to me it seems like there's a lot more like
I feel
less
like
is
it's completely
happening
split.
in adult stuff. It's more slow moving in the adult times.
Mm.
Like it all built up to killing Adam last season, but there was still a
Oh, yeah,
lot
that's right.
happening, you know?
That is
Um
true. That is very true. And
and
we also, yeah,
the shrine with the dog and stuff like that was all in like the end of the season.
that is, yeah.
But
But
we're
we
already
also had the
halfway
crash.
almost.
So next week, that's what I was going to say is our exact half episode. So we had 4 before episode 5 and then 4 after. So next week is our middle of the road episode.
Oh, I know what I was going to ask you and ask the people in the comments. Do you think we should keep doing it at 7 o'clock? We've been getting comments like that people wish they could come, but it's so late for them on a Sunday night. And I realized that people who have DirecTV, like myself, can watch it early if they record it on demand. So we might not have to wait till Sunday nights, or we could do it earlier on Sunday. I don't know. Throwing it out there.
We'd be open to doing it early on Sunday. We literally put it at this time to try to accommodate so that everybody could watch.
But maybe we don't
And
need to accommodate the West Coast people if they can watch it on demand, the
if they
people
can
who
watch it
have
on demand and
cable.
early.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love to do it a little bit earlier. That'd be great.
Yeah, because it's late for Katie too.
Yeah.
But she stays up really late, you guys. She's a
It
night out.
doesn't really matter as much to me, but it'd be great to be able.
Oh,
Yeah.
and it's early on Hulu too.
It's early kind of on everything. So I would
Right.
hope that
So
most people could watch it early. I'd love to start it even a couple hours earlier and do 8:00 East Coast, 6:00 West,
5
or
o'clock.
5:00 West Coast.
Uh-huh.
Let us
Yeah,
know.
and if you have it on TV, I think you can sign up for it on the app, and then you could watch it
Yeah.
early on the app.
Oh, I
It's
watch
just
it. I watch it like Friday morning.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's for people like my parents who only know how to watch it on cable and
Yeah. We were
record it on
trying to
their
give
DVRs.
everybody a chance. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what our plan was. But
but we can't accommodate my parents forever.
no.
They gotta get with the program.
But we might come up with a different time. So
So just throwing it out there, I literally just sprung that on Katie. So to
no, it's
just
fine.
see what
Good.
people's opinions are. But we're
Yeah.
so excited to have you guys.
Thank
Please tell a
you.
friend. We are getting so close to having this channel be monetized, which would be really cool. It just means we're progressing in our new YouTube career. So keep sending, share it with friends. We're getting close with the amount of views. So, and
Yeah.
subscribe.
Tell a
So
friend.
we love you guys. Thank you so much.
Have a good
And
week. We'll
I
see
wish
you
there was
back
a
here.
tagline or a catchphrase or like buzz on or like, like on Dateline, it's like, don't watch alone,
Homework for next week.
homework for next week. We're
There you go.
taking suggestions, although Katie will probably come up with the best one because she's good at that.
No,
But
that's not true.
be your
Mm-mm.
own buzz.
Be your own mouse in pocket. I love the mouse in the pocket.
Protect that mouse at
Yeah,
all
protect
costs.
that mouse at all costs.
If
Oh gosh, where's
Fievel
Steve?
is getting
Also,
killed, Fievel better not die.
Who's taking care of Steve? Who's taking care of Sammy? What's going on?
My dad said the same thing, and I made so much fun of him. I was like, I'm sure they had an assistant come pick him up at school. My dad was like, is Sammy still at the school? Because they got in that accident. I'm like, I'm sure they have assistants or a helper or a family member or
Is
someone.
she about to get arrested for like child abandonment? I feel like something's about to happen.
Because I made so much fun. I was like, Dad, just because you didn't see it on the show doesn't mean it didn't happen. I'm sure they took care of Sammy. And he's like, why didn't they show it? And I was like, you don't need to see like people go to the bathroom and like go about their daily lives. That's not important to the main story. And now Katie's saying the same thing.
It's kind of important. Also, we care about Steve and we care about Sammy. Where are they? Also, everybody said be your own antler queen. So
be your own antler queen.
Be your own antler queen.
Wow, they're all oh no, it's be your own antler queen.
It wasn't, and then yeah.
I love it.
Very clever.
Yeah, and someone's like, the assistant doesn't have a car. How is she?
The assistant doesn't. She seriously, it's Grand Theft Auto. It's child abandonment. It's a lot of. And she's in office. Is she supposed to be working?
Why is she not doing her job? Like
friends.
There are like stoplights and disputes with the water company and all sorts of stuff she needs to be handling as state senator, and she is not doing her job.
Oh, you know what? That's what I wanted to go look up. She goes to that party and there's issues that they talk about. I wonder if those come into play. I'm just going to go back and review what they are.
Well, she's like losing it at that party. She's seeing a wolf and she's so hungry and she was drinking and
no, but they remember they have conversations.
They serve a pig.
But is one of them about mining? I'm going to go back and look. I thought of it the other day and then I just remembered it. Okay.
Or like fracking, which is the new mining.
No, is there something there that is going to come into play in the woods?
Or it just like a little foreshadow?
I will report back.
Okay, thank you. That's your homework.
Report back. All right. Bye, everybody. Have a great week.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.